display on the Wednesday night suppers. And that's because we need a head count so they know how much soup to make. But also they need, I think they still need a few volunteers who want to take a whack at presenting one of their homemade soup recipes. Of course, they're all meatless, right? That's sort of the point of it. And during this, we do a table reading so that one of the priests will read from that while everyone eats their supper in silence. Okay? Now, today, the Legion of Mary will be handing out free copies of the 33-day Preparation for Total Consecration to Jesus Through Mary booklets. You may pick those up on your way out. St. Benedict has established the Lumen Christi Legacy Society. It's a way for parishioners who have designated the parish in their will or in their estate planning. There's information in the bulletin. There's a sign-up sheet in the narthex for a seminar, end-of-life type of seminar. It's a lot of practical, informative things there. Someone from the diocese coming down that's trained in this area. It's going to be, we're giving a little seminar on that. And that's next month. I think it's like the 17th and 18th, something like that. But there's a sign up in the narthex for that. We want you to save the date, March 19th. That's our annual Triduum of Feasts, when we honor the three saints consecutively, Patrick, Joseph, and Benedict, our patron. Now that's going to take place right after 11 o'clock Mass, so there will be no 1:30 Mass that day. So all you people that are here that usually come to the 1:30 Mass, so I want you to look at me now. There's no 1:30 Mass on March 19th. So you're hearing it a month in advance, okay? So no 1:30 Mass, Sunday, March 19th, okay? Now, please get a copy of today's bulletin because there's a special attachment explaining how the Triduum of Feast began in 2006 and how it's grown, how it's become the most anticipated event really in the parish all year round, except when I'm up here talking. Then that's the, all right. And please join our teens for Teen Trivia Night on the 25th of February from 5:30 to 7. There'll be a dinner, but no desserts because it will be Lent. The children's Lenten offering boxes that we do every year are available from Ash Wednesday and returned on Holy Thursday. This is a great way for the little guys to learn about the important virtue of almsgiving, right? And this year, the proceeds will go to the Fraternity Nigerian Mission School instead of the Fraternity Colombian School. Sorry. And then finally, the Finance Council will meet this Tuesday, February 21st at 6:30 in Forest Hall.
Introduction veratatuntum Dei, introduction adduction amantiam tabernacle. Câte principiul de Deus, Deus promises să rămână cătărul meu.
Spero di non
Gloria Patri, Filii și Sancto.
Sincere riflessione, sempre secula, secolum.
Intrali, aiutor nostro, in nomine Domini. Che fili de potenti viet in the news of the Virgin Colangio, the sense of death of Pardonis, the Bobby's Brothers, we became in Scotland, mea culpa, mea maxima. We did break with the Virgin Colangio, the sense of death of Pardonis, the Bobby's Brothers, or a baby government.
Esto in Deum protectorum et in loco refugii, ut salva me facias, quam firmamentum meum et refugium meum est tu, pro te nomen tuum dux mi eris, nutrias me, in te Domini speravi, non computere in eternum, in sutia tua libera me et erga me. Gloria Patri, et Filio, et Spiritus Sancto, sic adorat in principio et nunc et semper, saecula saeculorum. Amen. Esto mi in Deum protectorum et in loco refugii, ut salva me facias, quam firmamentum meum et refugium meum est tu, pro te nomen tuum dux mi eris, nutrias me.
Kyrie eleison. Kyrie eleison. Christe eleison. Kyrie eleison. Kyrie eleison.
Dominus vobiscum. Oremus. Preces nosis quasi Domine clemente exaudi, aque a peccatora in vinculus absolutos, ab omnia diversitate castori, ut Domine nostrum Iesum Christum filium tuum, qui videre ut Spiritus in Deus, saecula saeculorum.
Amen.
Lexio Epistoli Beati Pauli Apostoli a Corinthios, fratres, sin linguis omnem loquar, et angelorum caritatem autem non aviam, pactus sum bella eis sonans, o cimberlum tiniens, si aburo profetiam, et novum mysteri omnia, et omnem scientiam, si aburo omnem fidem, ita ut monte sunt ansveram, caritatem autem non abore nihil sum, et si destruero in cibos papum omnes facultates meas, et si intradidero corpus meam, ita ut ardiam, caritatem autem non aboro nihil mea prodest. Caras fiat patiens est, benignus est. Caras non emulator, non age purpura, non inflator, non est ambitiosa, non querit quae sunt sua, non irritator, non cogitat malum, non gaudet super negotate, non gaudet aut in veritati. Omne super, omne credet, omne sperat, omne sustenet. Caras numquam exidet. Sive profetia effectua buntur, sive linguae cessabut, sive scientia disruetur, ex parte enim conoscimus, ex parte profetamus, cum autem venderat cura perfectum est, quo abitur quod ex parte est. Cum essem parvulus, ut quaebar ut parvulus, sapievam ut parvulus, cogitavam ut parvulus. Quando autem factus subir, evacuavi quae erat parvuli. Videmus nunc per speculum et ignimite. Tunc autem face ad faciem. Nunc conosco ex parte. Tunc autem conoscam sicut et conductus sum. Nunc autem manent fides spes caritas. Tria ec. Maior autem orum est caritas. Tu es Deus qui facis mirabilia solus, notum facisti in genibus virtutum tuam, liberasti in brachio tua populum tuum, filios Israel et Iosef. Jubilate Dei omnis terra, serviti Domine in Laetitia, durati conspectu eis visitatione, citote cor Dominus ipsi est Deus, ipsi fecit nos, non ipsi nos, nos autem populus eis, nobis paque eis. Dominus vobiscum. Sequentia Sancti Evangelii secundum Lucam.
Gloria tibi Domini.
In illo tempore sumpsit Iesus doricem et aed illis. Ecce et scendimus Hierosolimam, et consumabuntur omnia, quae scriptura sunt pro prophetas de filios hominis. Durante enim genibus ludetur, et flagellea abitur, et consupuetur, postquam flagellaverant, occidit eum, et tertia dea resurget. Et ipsi nil orum intelligserant, et verbum ista abscondit ab eius, et non exagebant quae dicebantur. Factum est autem, cum appropriaret Jericho, cecus quidam sedebat secus viam, mendicans, et cum audirant turbam prostituentum, de grabar quid hoc esset. Dixerant autem ei, quod Iesus Nazarenus transiret. Et clamavet dicens, Iesu, fili David, miserere mei, qui peribant increpabant eum ut attaceret. Ipsi vero multum magis clamavat, fili David, miserere mei. Stans autem Iesus, iusit illum adduci ad se, et cum proquasit gravit illum dicens, quid tibi vis faciam? Ad illi dixit, Domine, ut videam. Et Iesus dixit illi, respice, fides tua te salvum fecit. Et confessum vidit, et sequabatur illum, magnificans Deum. Dominus plesit ut vidit, dedit laudum Deo.
Today is Quinquagesima Sunday. The epistle is taken from the first letter of St. Paul to the Corinthians. Brethren, for I should speak with the tongues of men and of angels, who do not have charity, I have become a sounding brass or a tinkling cymbal. And if I have prophecy and know all mysteries and all knowledge, and if I have all faith so as to remove mountains, yet do not have charity, I am nothing. And if I distribute all my goods and feed the poor, and if I deliver my body to be burnt, yet do not have charity, it profits me nothing. Charity is patient, is kind. Charity does not envy, is not pretentious, is not puffed up, is not ambitious, is not self-seeking, is not provoked, thinks no evil, does not rejoice over wickedness, but rejoices with the truth, bears with all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Charity never fails, whereas prophecies will disappear, and tongues will cease, and knowledge will be destroyed. For we know in part, and we prophesy in part. But when that which is perfect has come, that which is imperfect will be done away with. When I was a child, I spoke as a child. I felt as a child. I thought as a child. Now that I've become a man,
I put away the things of a child. We see now through a mirror in an obscure manner, but then face to face. Now I know in part, but then I shall know even as I have been known. So there abide faith, hope, and charity. These three, but the greatest of these is charity. We stand for the gospel. The gospel is taken from St. Luke. At that time, Jesus, taking to himself the 12, said to them, "Behold, we are going up to Jerusalem, and all the things that have been written through the prophets concerning the Son of Man will be accomplished. For he will be delivered to the Gentiles, and will be mocked and scourged and spit upon. And after they have scourged him, they will put him to death. And on the third day he will rise again." And they understood none of these things. And this saying was hidden from them. Neither did they get to know the things that were being said. Now it came to pass, as he drew near to Jericho, that a certain blind man was sitting by the wayside begging. But hearing a crowd passing by, he inquired what this might be. And they told him that Jesus of Nazareth was passing by. And he cried out, saying, "Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me." And they who went in front angrily tried to silence him. But he cried out all the louder, "Son of David, have mercy on me." Then Jesus stopped and commanded that he should be brought to him. And when he drew near, he asked him, saying, "What wouldst thou have me do for thee?" And he said, "Lord, that I may see." And Jesus said to him, "Receive thy sight, thy faith has saved thee." And at once he received his sight and followed him, glorifying God. And all the people, upon seeing it, gave praise to God. Thus the words of the gospel. In the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost, amen. Please remain standing.
Credo in unum Deum, Pater omnipotentem, et in cieli et terra, et in omnium et invisibilium, et in unum Dominum Iesu Christum, Filium Dei unigenitum, ex Patri natum omnia saecula, Deum de Deo, Lumen de Lumine, Deum verum de Deo verum, genitum non factum, cum sancta Patri, procum omnia facta sunt, per nos homines, pro nosum salutum, descendet de celis. Et incarnatus est Spiritus Sancto ex Maria Virgine, et homo factus est. Crucifixit et per nobis, suppatio parlato, passa sepultus est. The resurrection tertia dies secundum scripturas, scedet in caelum, sed ad dextra Patris, divinturus est cum gloria, et cum vivos et mortuos, quis regni non ere finis. Et in Spiritum Sanctum, Dominicatum, Patria et Filio cum percedit, cum Patria et Filio sum adorator cum lubricator, qui locutus est perfectas, et unam, sanctam, catholicam, apostolic ecclesiam, qui vidium baptismum in misericordiam, expecto resurrectum mortuorum, et vita veturi seculi. Amen. Dominus Christo. Oremus. Benedictus est Domine, doce me justificationis tuas, nabis meis pronunciavi omnia judici oris tui.
Santa Patria nostra Deus, facimus ne conditiones sum me virtu. Ne vivo con care se vete de progresse por pro que se dice. Te funtis me Spirone, Sicirone, there is a Benedictus. Better go to the and to bring the garden. Questo Domine, questo sul mondo e non stato lite, e te ne sei conosciuto proprio non ti vedo probabilmente questo tipo di così Gesù.
Pro omnia saecula saeculorum. Dominus vobiscum. Susum corda. Gratias agamus Domine Deum nostrum. Vere dignum et justum est ecum et salutare nos tibis et buco gratis agere. Domine Sancti Pater, unibus terres, qui congerer Filio Tuo et Spiritus Sancto, unus est Deus, unus est Dominus, non unis seculare personae, sed unis totalis substantiae. Quae te Deo gloria revelate te, credimus, hoc de Filio Tuo, hoc de Spiritus Sancto, sine deferentia discretionis sentimus, ut in confessione vere septerrico deitatis, de personas proprietas et in essentiae unitas, maestate autoritatea et qualitas, cum lar angeli arque archangeli, cerem quoque ad servem, qui non cessa qui non cessa clamare cudidie, una voce decentes. Sanctus, 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 Dominus Deus Sabaoth, venit celi et terra gloria Tua, usare excelsis. Benedictus qui venet et nomine Domini, usare excelsis.
Feceta habes benedicas, ec undona, ec mondora, exedabatum. Virtusque ferem proclasu tuet, care costa tira atom, Papa nostrum, Paro musat, quae conosce posacit topis. Interrume voluptuarum. Tu non circumstantiam collectivi fidiscus und ad votque femis focuti, of nox superiores comunis potentia consurum, et consequentia tibi cum rodam post superiore cum paratis, post superiores in rega praeticum Jesu Christi. Sebeti Iusuf responsia petitum post probatum praeticum pagare Iacob, Ius Domine cobi Philippi patronum Deus monastari, Nicolaticum et sixticum religicum exposumus paucas Daniel, Septus quod quorum meritus percipitierus, Runibus protectionibus tuibus exilio, Runibus custodium. Amen. Deus Christus nostrum, circulatus et quaesus percipies, Deus cum nos tuis bonus arque, ea ab ter nosus ergo dictorut qui iubes culturare, custodium, quam visu tu Deus nomis quaesimus, benedictam, ares scriptam, raptum et salvum acta luminaris of corpus, sinus Filii Sancti Christus. Qui peteretur. Bonus Sanctus Bonosus, Avengia, et te gratia, et credit, et quisum teaches, Archipri Manducati ex hoc omnes. Hoc est imo, corpus meum. Sanctus, Archipri Manducati sancta as we desiderat agens, benedix et quisum teaches, Archipri ex eo omnes. Hic est unum calix sangros mei, novi terrem, est hic misericorde qui per vobis et per musis petitum misericordiam, quod veceris in memori perietis.
Unie momis Domine, nos evitus helpas Sancte Ius Christus, nos in tempus et neta preferes Deus, Chila Virgin Sanctius, ferem proclamar Sancte Exultatis, Ostium Porum, Ostium Sanctam, Ostium Immaculata, Panem Sanctificarum Capitue. Cupra Caesare, the Veris Cupider, the Berenice Caesare, fructus ab sacrificio peccatus ab, Quaquidat, sui Jesu Christus Sancti Sacrificio Ostium. Subtistem Robusum de Iube, Proclamaciam, cum Pandare Jungus Verge Corpo. Ctaurus Pacentia Vitu, Corpus Servus Servus. Omni Necesti e gratia per amor, Deus Deus me. Stam Voluptuara Quinus Precisus, Spiritu de Paces. Ipsis Dominus Omnis, quis Genicus Vocat Lux Patris, et ut Carmen Internos. Nobis Coica Peccatoribus, Nostrum, Tutura, Misericordia, Peccator, Misericordia, Veneris, Contus, Sanctus, Imperum, Condium, Stefano, Petia, Barba, Nexus, Lexan, Matrin, Petit, Celta, Pecata, Lucia, Litigity, Sessimus, Explico, Cronos, Sorino, Merita, Stefano, Grace, Mislecte, Petia, Peccator, Pecum, Omnius, Creas, Sanctificas, Vivificas, There's the person nobis. Cum ipsum stibi Deo, tanti Lorde Christi, unus omne gloriam. Per omnia saecula saeculorum. Oremus, procetta salutare moniti, et divina ustate formati, audemus dicere. Pater noster, qui es in celis, sanctificetur nomen tuum, av the regnum tuum, fiat voluntas tuus sicut in cielo et in terra. Para nos cura eternas odie, et mitte nobis debere nostra, sicut nos mittibus debitoris nostris, et ne nos inducas in tentationem. Amen. Jesu Christus, normale, preteris profeticis, liberta consultum pria, cum es suspetta per l'acqua, Dominus Sanctus, Deus nostris, so iuri erat, because of libertatem scripturae. Per omnia saecula saeculorum. Pax Domini sit semper vobiscum. Agnus Dei, qui tollis peccata mundi, miserere nobis. Agnus Dei, qui tollis peccata mundi, miserere nobis. Agnus Dei, qui tollis peccata mundi, dominus Pater. Dominus dictus ut Dominus dictus ut Dominus dictus ut Vita verso nibritis, musicatis verso produca vos ad vita eterna. Dugensi, maxione, mesura percussion, verso te povis nibis miscos vos. Ecce agnus Dei et peccata mundi. Domine, nos edictis mem, sed like verbus arma mem. Domine, nos edictis mem, sed verbus arma mem. Domine, nos edictis mem, sed like verbus naper arma mem.
Melo governt et satirati sunt nimis, deseriem eorum atulit eis Dominus, non sunt prodati ad desiderio suo. Dominus vobiscum. Oremus. Quae liberis Deus, quae celesti alamente percepimus, per e contra omnia adversa muniamo, Domine nostrum Iesum Christum filium tuum, qui vita reina ut Spiritus Sancti, Deus, saecula saeculorum. Dominus vobiscum. Ite missa est.
Benedicat vos liberis Deus.
Pater, Filius, Spiritus Sanctus.
Dominus vobiscum. Initio Sancti Evangelii, secundum Ioannum. In pejore verbum, et vibra pod Deum, et Deus erat verbum. Quid principio pod Deum. Omnia per ipsum factus sunt, et in ipsum factum est nunc factum est. In ipsa vita erat, vita erat lux omnem, lux in termis lucet, et tempora eam non competiterat. Pro missa de cum nomen Ioannes, ec venet testimonium, ut testimonium per de lumine, ut omnes quadra per illum. No erat illa lux testimonium per de lumine. In lux vere quod lumine omne venent muc mundum. Mundo erat, et mundus plus factus est. Mundus encum novit. In propria venet, sui eam lurgiperat. Quoque autum lurgiperat eam, de eis potestate fios Dei firi. Is cucura nombrias. Qui non est securis, legos vado te carnes, legos vado viris, ex Deo natis sunt. Verbum caro factum est. Capitavit nobis, vis gloria meas, gloria quasi una japa atre, per gratia veritatis. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed amongst women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed amongst women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed amongst women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Hail, Holy Queen, Mother of mercy. To thee we cry, for thou shalt be. To thee said of us, grant the most grace of thou, and mercy for us. And after this exile, show with us the blessed fruit of thy womb. O clement, thy Lord, bless we worship. Pray for us, O Holy Mother of God. Let's pray, O God, our refuge and our strength. Look down on mercy on the people who cry to thee. By the intercession of the glorious and like Virgin Mary, Mother of God, St. Joseph, her spouse, blessed apostles Peter and Paul, all the saints. In mercy and goodness, hear our prayers for the conversion of sinners, for the liberty and exaltation for our Holy Mother of the Church, St. Christ our Lord. St. Michael the Archangel, sing it our Jesus. Sing it our Jesus. Sing it our Jesus. Pray for vocations. O God, grant them one of these children, priests and religious. I myself have lived as a good Christian. Want to guide these your boys through what is right. Receive the grace of God. Allowing the only priest and religious in his parish. Amen.
Please be seated. So as promised, a short little farino on the readings. So in his epistle, St. Paul speaks of the necessity, the excellence, and the nature of true charity. He says that all natural and supernatural gifts, all good works, even martyrdom, do not avail salvation, or do not avail you to salvation, if they are not united and animated by charity, that is by the love of God, because that love alone can render our works pleasing to Him. Therefore, though ever so much good is accomplished, so many alms may be given, prayers, fasting, and good deeds performed, but not for the love of God, or while not in state of grace, no reward whatsoever can be hoped for. So strive then to lead always a pious life in love, and to remain always in a state of grace. With respect to the gospel, when our Lord asked the blind man of Jericho, "What wilt thou that I do to thee?" He asked not because he was unaware of the blind man's wish, but to enable him to better show his faith and hope that through Christ he would receive his sight, and that he might show us how he loves to do good to us and how it pleases him if we put our trust in him. We should learn then from this blind man, who would not be restrained by the passing crowd in his persistent request, not to pay attention in the work we have begun to human respect or human judgment, but to persevere and not allow ourselves to be led astray by the world's mockery or contempt. We should also learn to thank God and to cling to Him with faith and trust if He has once opened our eyes of our mind and healed our spiritual blindness, which is far more deplorable than physical blindness, for nothing can be more miserable than not to see and understand God, ourselves, what is necessary for our salvation, and what is dangerous to it. So this weekend I'm offering a snapshot, if you will, of the parish life and what I'm calling the State of the Parish Address. And just as the president, the governor, the mayor do this in their addresses, we'll be focusing our attention on the various facets of the parish. Keep in mind, all this is based on the end of the fiscal year, which is June 30th. So we're talking about June 30th, 2022. That's 6 months ago already, but those are the figures I'm using. So as of then, our census in the parish registered parishioners was 962 individuals, which would equate to 402 families. Now, that was versus 347 families just a year before that. So we grew from 347 to 402. And that encompassed 290 children, 205 of them registered in the CCD class. During that year, we had 8 deaths, 39 baptisms, 24 First Communions, 26 confirmations, 10 of which were adults coming into the church through the RCI program, and 8 marriages. Our total income for that during that period from July 1st, 2021 through June 30th, 2022 was $947,000 versus $850,000 the year before. Keep in mind that $55,000 was earmarked for parish charities. Our total expenses during that time was $784,000 compared to $837,000 the year before. So we increased our income, but we reduced our expenses, which is good. Keep in mind, too, that every month we pay the cathedraticum. That's the special tax that's imposed on us by the diocese of $11,500. That's the minimum. Some months is more because they have special things throughout the year that they tack on. Our net was a positive $163,000 that year. So how are our funds utilized? Well, the first collection is always to go to the general operating fund to pay for the parish expenses and salaries. The second collection is always earmarked for the special building project. And then we have as you know, some special collections, like for the Vocations Fund Drive twice a year and the Father's Wish List. Now, I want you to keep in mind that over the years, there have been some projects or some things that have been donated by parishioners so that no money, not even a penny, was used from the funds of the church. And there's been many, but these are the ones that are the big ones that I want to call your attention to. So one was the playground. Not only the playground, but the installation of the playground. That was around $30,000. There was the prayer garden, the beautiful prayer garden. That's over $90,000. The parishioner paid for that. By the way, that's the one that the diocese uses on its screenshot. When you go to their meetings, they have that. And so I'm thinking about asking for a royalty on that because the piazza out front, the brick, the pavement that all the kids run around on, parishioner paid for that. The drainage ditch and the shrubs out here that we did last year, and the shrubs at the rectory, parishioner. The concrete driveway at the rectory, the 2 HVAC units at the rectory, the windows, all the new windows in the rectory, all paid for by a parishioner. Now, when we bought that property, which is 5.5 acres, and the house, we then moved in there, we were short about $300,000, so a parishioner paid it so that we paid it off at closing so that we could remain debt-free. In fact, this building here, back in like 2012, 2013, when we were finishing up our capital campaign, a family struck a check for $900,000. That's almost $1 million. Not only that, just so we could pay it off. And it went away like that. The picnic tables were recently purchased. The snowblower, the numerous vestments, the numerous artwork, everything from the sedalia that Father and the servants are sitting on, to the pelican shield that we use at 40 hours, the parish, the passion clock, so much all paid for by parishioners. Recently, we were gifted the house at 501 McCosh, again, by a parishioner. It didn't cost the parish a penny. Home inspection surveys, all paid by that. All these things that I just listed were all donated by 3 families. That's it. Now, there are many things that you and others have contributed. You contribute many, many things. Your time, your talents, and many, many things, not to this degree, but many other things that help us to remain debt-free and keep and stay focused on what we are here to do, to bring souls to Christ. So now, concerning the new building, so we purchased that property a couple years ago, and to you it seems like it must have been forever because it's been dormant for a while. But during that time, there's a lot of activities been taking place that, it's just one step after another that you can't shortcut. And it's mostly with the city of Chesapeake, so we had to get permits to get it rezoned, then to clear it, then to get the wetlands, core samples, all these different things, appease the neighbors, all these things. Well, we did all that, and but we remained at an impasse because our architect only had about 75% of his drawings done. The reason he was at an impasse was because we tried to get 3 quotes as required, and we just could only get 1 quote on the steel. Now this is the building, by the way, that we're going to build is a 22,000 square foot prefab building, 1 story with a mezzanine, brick facade, 10 classrooms, with a large banquet hall that can accommodate 600 people seated comfortably with a commercial kitchen to take care of receptions and events and things like that. But the architect didn't know where to put the final stuff, you know, all the HVAC, the plumbing, the heating, the electrical, until he got the drawings from the steel company. And that's where the problem was. So the diocese gave us okay to just go with one quote because we reached out to many companies, couldn't get it. So we got that. We signed the contract a week and a half ago, and we're going forward. So it'll take about 8 weeks for them to do their drawings, and then he'll give that to the architect, and that'll take him 3 or 4 weeks to finish his drawings. When he'll then have 100% of drawings, we'll be able to give that to the city. Hopefully they'll approve it. The diocese will approve it. We'll get our permit to build, and then we can put shovel in the ground. If all goes well, that is, the weather cooperates, the supply chain is okay, and their laborers to work the project, then they say it'll take less than 10 months. Right now we have funds, as of the end of January, last month, funds of $1.38 million for that. We've already paid $73,000 for this project. We're estimating, and this is a rough estimate, a $4 million project. So it looks like we'll need to raise a little less than $3 million. So that means we're going to have to do a capital campaign. So I will be talking with some of you, if not many of you. I plan to lead the charge. So I'll have flesh in the game, or a dog in the, what's that expression? Dog in the, what's it called? Dog in the fight. Yeah. Maybe that's not the best term, but anyhow, if you know, if I'm going to ask you, then I should be willing to do it myself. So anyhow, that's forthcoming. Okay. Now, our future plans and goals, or after that building is completed, then I want to set my eyes on a new altar. This is a plaster altar. We want to get a marble altar. So that then we can hopefully get the building solemnly consecrated in the all right. So that has to be marble. If you ever look at it closely, it's sort of beat up. But you know, everything in the building is either new or restored, and it's really sort of shameful that the one piece that's the most important, where the holy sacrifice of the Mass takes place every day, is sort of the hand-me-down sort of thing. So we want to focus on that next, and then long-term plans would be to raise the administrative building and replace it with another building that will strictly be administrative, and then maybe put our focus on a new entrance, rather than when you pull up with the trash cans there and stuff, it looks like you're coming into a backyard or something like that, rather than a property of a Catholic church. And then maybe an outdoor pavilion after that to complement the building and that type of thing. We have given a proposal for full-time hire, a organist choir director. Some of y'all met Mr. Adrian Fida from Poland, who was here last month. He's a former seminarian of the Fraternity of St. Peter and is a prodigy organist and musician. And we have given him a proposal. He's accepted it, but now we're in it's in the hands of the government because he needs a religious work visa. It takes about a year or so. So we're already in the works with that with the immigration's attorney to get that going. So that's another thing. And then hopefully in 2 or 3 years, I don't see why we wouldn't have a fourth priest, probably a retired priest of the fraternity, because as the priests are starting to retire, they want them to retire in parishes, and while they're here, they're expected to help out. So we now have a place for that. Okay. So we've come a long way, but we still have a ways to go, and together we'll get there. So I would like to, there's one other thing, sorry. We're still well under an hour, so shouldn't be any complaining out there. So we're very blessed to have 5 permanent members on our finance council that are very dedicated to assisting and advising the pastor on temporal and financial things of the parish. The finance council is set up by the diocese. It is strict diocesan guidelines that we have to follow. It's mandated by universal canon law in the church. So the members are appointed at the pastor's discretion. We meet monthly. The meetings are open to parishioners. All minutes, the budget, the annual report goes to the diocese. It's also posted for right now, as it has been for last month, over there in Damien Hall. And all the accounts of the parish are open to the diocese to view at any time they wish. So everything's above board there. So I would like to express my profound thanks to all of you, my gratitude for the generosity of all of you, the parish council, but especially the parish finance council for their role in maintaining the temporal goods of the parish and the financial vitality of the parish. So thank you from the bottom of my heart, and may St. Benedict bless God. If you have any questions, you feel free to see me or any member of the parish finance council. Right now, I would like to invite Mr. Mar Comcia. Yep, Comcia. Okay. I was going to say a few words. Please, given your unprovided attention. Thank you.
Thank you again, Father. Appreciate it. Good afternoon, everyone. Again, my name is Amir Komsia, and I'm a Christian from the Holy Land. I was born in Jerusalem, and I grew up in Bethlehem. Before I start my brief presentation, folks, I would like to take this wonderful chance and thank all of you here for the generous support you have shown to us throughout the years. Your sense of solidarity with your brothers and sisters in the Holy Land is greatly appreciated. Thank you all very much, and may God bless you and bless your good work. Well, folks, we're back to you today for the same good cause, which is to support the Christian community in the Holy Land. Now, for those who are new members here, and also to refresh your memory, I would like to share with you some important facts about the Holy Land. Well, folks, Christianity in the Holy Land some 70 years ago made about 20% of the total population. Nowadays, it is less than 2%. And if you are wondering about the Catholic community back home, well, folks, it is less than 1%. If the situation stays as it is, in the near future, there will be no Christians left in the Holy Land, and the Holy Land will be basically a museum. And this is absolutely wrong and not fair for all of us. We want the Christians to stay rooted in the land of Christ, because Christians back home, just by being there, they will protect our holy sites. They will ensure our church's prosperity, and they will preserve our Christian heritage. Now, one of the main reasons about this massive decline, folks, is basically the economical instability derived by political instability. As you all know, the Holy Land is one of the most touristic areas on earth. That's why the whole economy revolves around tourism. Most of the local Christians back home completely depend on tourism to make their living. Unfortunately, after COVID-19 hit the world back in 2020, we lost tourism for 18 months in a row. Literally, folks, zero tourism. Anything that has to do with pilgrim activities were basically closed. Most of the local Christians back home lost their major source of income and employment. In simple words, COVID-19 destroyed the economy back home, and it's going to take years and years for the economy to recover. So if you think about it, we have the pandemic in one hand, and on the other hand, we have the political instability and the fightings. I'm pretty sure that all of you here are aware of the conflict between Palestinians and Israelis. It's been like this for more than 70 years, and I personally do not see any real solution at the table. People back home are basically tired of this ongoing conflict. They don't know what to do. That's why many of them left the area. It is really very sad to see them leaving, but that's the way it is, and we have to deal with it. Now, the question is, what can we do to support the remaining Christians back home? As you know by now, folks, we found that one of the easiest ways to support them is basically by bringing their beautiful crafts here to the US, and we offer them for sale at different parishes over the weekend. And by doing this, we make sure that a lot of families back home have some source of income and employment so they can hang in there a little bit more till things hopefully get better. For this reason, folks, I encourage all of you here to stop by our display, take a look, and consider buying something in support of your brothers and sisters in the Holy Land. This is really simple and effective way to give back to the Holy Land and the people in the Holy Land. And I always say it, folks, you are doing this for a good cause, which is to keep the Christians rooted in the land of Christ, the place where our Savior Jesus Christ was born, walked, taught, died, and finally resurrected. Thank you all very much for your time, and please, folks, keep Christians of the Holy Land in your daily prayers. They need them a lot. Thanks again. God bless you all.